with the victory, and it's Calgary who gets the tip here. Jameer Nelson Jr. at the controls, 28-3-2 in the game against the Shooting Stars on Sunday that bumped the Surge up to 2 consecutive wins, and they get it started very nicely.
He did. He proved us right, Mitch. Just a nice looking three there. Early start, what good for the Surge.
Surge have been working to improve their game from beyond the arc. They had 10 made threes each of the last 2 games, and they get one here to get it going, and they stop the Stingers on their first attempt to respond. Jameer Nelson Jr. pushing the pace up against Mason Boursier in the matchup for the time being. Boursier, the former Surge player, who started the campaign with Winnipeg.
Yeah, traveled a little bit, hey Mitch?
Traveled a little bit, but welcome everywhere he goes. He's a well-liked teammate. He's a standout in U Sports at UBC and at Trinity Western. From the corner again, Brown for 3, deep in the clock, and it doesn't go. Boursier, kind of player who can take a little bit of pressure off of the standout Sean East, spreading those duties in the backcourt, mid-range, and that's good. He's a big part of the basketball story here, and we'll learn more about that a little bit later on. Cooper Toppings is the crew chief. Riley Carrison working along with Joanna Wiegers. Nelson Jr. with the fake gets a step on Boursier. The help comes in, but it doesn't matter as Nelson Jr. counts.
I think we'll be watching Boursier on Nelson Jr. most of this game. That'll be a fun matchup to watch.
In with the screen, Ambrose Hilton provided a little bit of room. Now it comes his way. The big man out of SMU gets it to Boursier, looking for 3, and that's a sweet stroke.
And that's something, Mitch, that won't show up on the score sheet, but that screen creates that room.
All even at 5 in the early moments. Mason Boursier, 3 assists away from 200 regular season assists in his Canadian Elite League career. Spent the winter playing in Estonia. East with the left hand, looking for the rebound. Lindsay snatched by Osaboyan. Osaboyan fouling out on Sunday against Scarborough, and what was the first ever win for the Surge against the Shooting Stars. Singers looking to the corner. Lindsay catch and shoot, and Osaboyan cleans it up.
It's a nice simple box out from him there.
Nifty pass for Nelson Jr., who looks to the corner. Kyrie Thomas trying to jump right back in the swing of things, and it doesn't fall for the former NBA player. Thomas with time with the Pistons and the Rockets in the world's best league. Lindsay from distance. Ambrose Hilton reaching for that rebound. Snatched away by Thomas, who's a ferocious defender. And here comes Ruggsy on the move. Ruggsy looking to the glass. A tough shot. He draws the foul.
Early on, you're seeing that the Surge are playing well inside the paint. We talked about that off the top. They're definitely better than the Stingers so far early on in the game with getting rebounds.
Surge 44.1 boards a game. That's number 1 in the CEBL. They've been averaging a dozen O boards per game. And we'll watch how this plays out as the first half unfolds. Miller Moore looking to finish up very nicely, and he does. Coming up on the 7-minute mark. 86-84 the first go-around between these teams. Edmonton was up 10 starting the 4th quarter. Calgary looking to gain the lead here. And the unsporting foul is called on Sean East, trying to break up the run out.
Again, Jameer Nelson just being active away from the basket, and he forces the turnover.
So with FIBA rules in place across the CEBL, it's 2 shots and possession of the basketball for the Surge. Jameer Nelson Jr., 68% free throw shooter so far this season. Surge faring better from the stripe in recent games. It was an area for improvement for them. Coming into the game, the team shooting 68.4%. Leaves them in 8th in the league, but again, it's on the rise, as evidenced in the last game. against the Scarborough Shooting Stars, where they were 20 of 22 from the stripe.
And I imagine Caleb Canales just detests those free points getting away and drives him nuts, but good for him. You know, it's part of that identity with this group, the constant improvement starting on the back end, but the free throw shooting for sure.
One of the things that Caleb has talked about is that shooting is sometimes the last thing to come for a team. It's learning systems, it's understanding play at both ends, it's competitiveness, it's building the chemistry, and then sometimes the shooting takes a little bit of time to come along. Surge, though, expect better from themselves, and that's been an interesting sort of undercurrent with this team. They've really pushed themselves to be better. Jameer Nelson Jr. has talked about simply his relationship with Greg Brown and saying they pushed each other. They said, look, this free throw shooting's got to be better. That's not good enough. If we're going to lead this team, we got to clean it up.
I suppose that's a sign of a healthy team culture, right? When you're holding each other accountable for those things.
Sure is. Roxy Miller-Moore to the inside. Osaboyan gets it in the hands of Nelson Jr., who steps back. It's shy of the bucket, but Osaboyan's got the rebound. Miller-Moore from deep, too strong. That one off on looks like Calgary player underneath the basket. Looks like it's going to go with the Stingers. So the Surge playing game 4 of this 5-game homestand. Lost the opener against Saskatchewan underneath for Borsay. He tries to back into play. Nelson Jr., Miller-Moore, Osaboyan, Brown, and set in the corner is Thomas, but it's a finish at the glass.
Uncontested for Brown, so valuable inside the paint.
Ambrose Hilton handing it off to East. 2 on East, making it tough for him. He finds Hornsby, the veteran. The pass read very well. It's a steal for Jameer Nelson Jr., who's building a reputation for that in the league. He is then converged on and it's tripped. Open look from the corner. In and out. Plenty of time for East. It just didn't fall for him this time. Up for Brown and it's good.
Welcome back, Kyrie Thomas, eh?
Kyrie Thomas jumping right in and making a difference. Tough to get that timing sometimes when you miss some games. He's missed the last 3, but impactful at both ends early on. The Surge lead it by 8. Remember the last time these teams played, it was Edmonton up by 10 starting the final quarter of the contest. East looking to the inside, and Nelson Jr. will hand it off to Brown. Brown has the look, likes what he sees. Big splash from Greg Brown. They stretch that lead to 11.
Second straight possession he's scored. Such a crucial contributor.
Lindsay getting to the glass.
Commercials, TV, he didn't have a demo reel, so he sent in clips of CEBL broadcasts, and that got him in the door. Our boy is booked and busy. We miss him, and we're happy to have Solomon with us tonight. Mitch, back to you.
Cammy, yes, we're certainly happy for Jermaine, and great to have Solomon with us for this one in Red Deer. Exciting times for Jermaine, exciting times for us as we watch this CEBL season take shape. The Surge 7-2, winners of 6 of their last 7. The Stingers dropping their last game, but had won 2 in a row before that, now standing at 4-6. A couple of substitutions taking place now for the Surge. Checking into the game, his first pro appearance, Enoch Bowachi out of Villanova. As announced today, he will be joining the Canadian entry at Global Jam coming up in August. Bowachi into the game along with Karim Mane. Mane checking in. He had been starting in the absence of Kyrie Thomas. Back in here, and it's turned over. Back the other way go the Stingers. Driving, trying to get to the inside. Elijah Miller, he goes to perimeter, and that works. A drive and a kick, and it's 3 for the team from up north.
Nick Hornsby, again, impacts the game in different areas. That play started with a steal by him.
Stingers get another stop. They want to pick up the pace. Jordan Baker hollering from just down the way from us. Wants to see his team play with a little more quickness, and that works. How quickly the lead has disappeared. Now a 3-point game.
The beauty of basketball, 2 really good possessions, quick possessions by Edmonton.
Points from turnovers making a difference in building that lead for the Surge. Edmonton finding a way to get stops and scores. Jameer Nelson is stopped. And the Edmonton squad looking to continue its run. East averaging 26 points a game in Romania this past winter. And striking here. 24.4 a game for East at tip-off. 16-15. Greg Brown directing traffic. Washi comes in trying to set the screen, and he just got a little too physical. It's an offensive foul.
Yeah, Greg Brown just a little bit too aggressive there, and Edmonton ball.
See a young player like Boachi getting his introduction to pro basketball. It's going to be a process for him, a matter of just getting reps, and I'm sure the veteran players on the team will help him, along with the coaching staff, to get comfortable as quickly as possible. Checking into the game, Chris Smith. Smith in his second year in the league was with Montreal last year. Played in Israel over the winter. East, a little assistance from Ambrose Hilton, finds some space, and he's got the mid-range working.
I believe that's 3 straight possessions with points for Edmonton after that timeout.
Edmonton into the lead, 17-16 after the latest handiwork from East. Miller Moore tries to get to the middle, found a little space up and over Lindsay. East top of the key, Lindsay fires, and that's good.
What a pass. Holy, what vision there.
Lindsay, a guy who can really shoot it. And the Stingers have got comfortable with the setting here in Red Deer at the Centrium. Foul is called. And they'll bring it back into play from the baseline. Cal Tires, proud partner and tire expert, the CEBL. Shop top tire brands and have peace of mind with Cal Tires price match guarantee. Shop and book at caltire.com. Edmonton quickly into the front court. Elijah Miller again looking to be on the arc. Chris Smith, a paint touch. Now move it around. Still 10 seconds to make it happen for the Stingers. East weaving to the inside. 2 Surge players converge. And as East goes down, the foul is called. It'll be on Mane. First on Mane. And you see it here as East tries to get to the inside, catches his foot on the foot of Mane. Side out of bounds for the Stingers, who trailed by 11 and now have a 2-point advantage. Lindsay. Miller Moore gets the inside position and will take it back the other way for Calgary. And to reassert themselves over the final 100 seconds of this opening quarter after a great start. Nelson Jr. fakes, gets the baseline run off the glass, doesn't go. Boachi's got the rebound, tries to get up, persists, and it pays off. A first pro bucket for Boachi.
What a memorable moment for him, holy.
He gets back and tries to defend, but gets his hand onto the back of Ambrose Hilton. And the whistle blows, but the youngster showing some of his attributes off of the offensive end. And
taking after his Surge teammates, just being a force inside the paint and making things happen down there.
Ambrose Hilton working against Boachi. Ambrose Hilton up and over, also a young big. Ambrose Hilton out of SMU. Stingers come away empty-handed. Haven't been saying that in recent minutes. A look from straight away. That's off the front iron from a player just added to the lineup today, Jamarco Pickett. Played this past season, the fall-winter season in Turkey, where he averaged 6.5 points a game. Spent time in the NBA with the Detroit Pistons. DeMarco Pickett. This one up doesn't fall, but the whistle blows. And the home side in this neutral site affair will shoot 2. Olumide Adeladun stepping to the line. Adeladun, a natural shooter. He's been perfect on his free throws in a limited number this season. And continues that. Last season, Edmonton finishing second in the West in the regular season, 13-7. Calgary was third at 11-9. They met in that West semifinal, as I've referred to, for a second consecutive year, and it was the Surge winning again. Bumpy start for the Stingers at 4-6, but this is their 7th road game in 11 starts. So looking forward to getting home starting on the weekend as that one falls. And they've got the lead in the final minute of the quarter.
Nice little floor from Sean East there.
Jameer Nelson drawing the attention of the defense.
As he does with that skill set, he's really shifty. He can shoot. He's not afraid to drive. It's no wonder defenses have to pay attention to him. Now he gets to go to the line.
Caleb Canales, head coach of the Surge, has taken to calling him PG1, a la QB1 in football circles. He is like having a coach on the floor as a floor general. Despite his youth, he was a very promising young player, just 23. Played in the G League this last year, averaged over 10 points a game at the Austin Spurs.
Yeah, you can even hear him from where we are, Mitch. He does certainly have that leadership element about him.
His work at the line gets the team even at 24. Speaking of Austin Spurs, the Surge announcing today that Osai Osifo has been added to the team's suspended list. Osifo getting ready to participate in NBA Summer League action. We wish him well, a terrific member of the Surge. Elijah Miller for Hornsby. Hornsby, that presence with this Edmonton team. Past 2 years and this year, his 3rd straight. Whistle on the violation. And the Surge will get it back into play. The shot clock is off. 14.6 remaining in the quarter, and we're all even. Mane getting to work. Borsier getting into position. Looking after him. Mane working with the left hand. He'll call his own number. Doesn't work. They're going for the rebound. 2 of them up there, both Nelson Jr. and Boachi. And it will go out of play.
Looked like just a little bit of miscommunication there between the two.
Stingers now trying to make the most of a final second opportunity, but they will run out of time. Those are the kinds of stories that make these kinds of games worthwhile, and it's got to be so exciting for her and for those kids to look out of the floor and say, hey, there's the coach.
Yeah, we know her. We know her. We saw them walking around. It was awesome to see them. They were clearly pumped, and that's got to be an incredible feeling.
They were fired up, and there's a big defensive play to get the Surge fired up. Gabe Osaboyan in there with the good hands to knock it away. Osaboyan had 4 rebounds in that opening quarter. Now a good job to get the ball back in Surge hands.
They needed that, Mitch. They needed some momentum after relinquishing the lead late in the first quarter there.
You talked about it earlier. It's a team that thrives on its defense. The spark, its energy coming from their work at the defensive end. And Osaboyan now trying to make it happen with a long bomb down the other way. And Mane just stepped out of bounds.
Game of inches. What again? Great vision though by Osaboyan to watch Mane underneath the basket, and quite the feed, just a little bit too aggressive for Mane.
Some opening quarter numbers for you. Jameer Nelson Jr. 9-1-1. Greg Brown had 7 points. On the other side, man in the spotlight once again. Sean East 11 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. As Kareem Mane raises his arm. Another look at the sequence leading up to the whistle. Edmonton 7-3 on the road last year. Different story so far this campaign at 2-4.
They play a lot more on the road early on as well.
Challenging schedule for Jordan Baker's team. Tough shot there. And a foul is called. It's going to go against the newcomer, DeMarco Pickett. Or excuse me, it's going to go against the Stingers. And it will be Calgary basketball. So the Surge with Miller Moore handling. Osaboyan, Thomas, Pickett. And rounding things out of Deladune. Into the hands of Smith. He turns and puts it away with authority.
Rare air ball by Miller Moore there, and the Stingers again going the other way and not allowing the Surge any chances to get set up.
Surge led by 11 at one point in that opening quarter. Stingers come back to tie it and then take the lead now at a 4-point advantage. Minute 34 into this second quarter. Another look at the heroics here of Smith, who showed what he could do with that size.
Yeah, throwing it down. You love to see it.
Smith at 6'9", 215. An official warning has been directed at Edmonton's number 7, Chris Smith. Jordan Baker asking for clarification and getting it. Baker, the GM and head coach of the Stingers, a former standout player for them. Guy with graduate level education and coaching from the University of Alberta.
Yeah, a fixture in the Edmonton basketball community. He owns a few records with the Golden Bears, and he was Nate's head coach for a while, and now thriving in a full-time capacity with the Stingers.
Yeah, great reflection on the basketball community in Edmonton, from youth player all the way to running the pro team as Thomas runs the floor and scores.
Kyrie Thomas over and under, beauty.
First two since his return from injury. Down at the other end, and Smith finding some room once again underneath the bucket. Gabe Osaboyan running that baseline and with the reverse finish.
Game's opened up recently. 3 straight possessions with baskets and 3 quick possessions as well.
Surge the better team defensively on the season, but both teams have that ability to score. There's a hustle play by Thomas, and it just gets away from him, but you love the effort. And the ball will go into Surge hands. Rugsy Miller Moore to put it back into play. Osaboyan provides the screen. Rugsy takes it, gets to the glass, and puts the Surge on top.
Makes up for that air ball with a really nice looking shot there, and again, it's a 1-point game.
Rugsy Miller Moore, a standout in this league, well established, 2-time CEBL All-Canadian. Surge all-time points leader.
Really the heart and soul leader of this team.
Dynamic personality, eye-catching athlete. There's a foul called on Chris Smith as Deladune, or excuse me, Osaboyan tried to work it into the front court. New Era is the exclusive game uniform partner of the CEBL, and all 10 of its teams from coast to coast. Pick up your official replica jerseys today by visiting CEBL.ca. Miller Moore with 4 points in the game, looking for more. He is denied as the Stingers take away the inside. Points in the paint favor Calgary, but only by a couple in this game. It's been a dominant aspect of games for them.
And, you know, as much as you want to keep guys in games, and you want to throw your whistles away to a certain extent, right? You want to let the players play, but when something is on video that clearly, it's very tough to look the other way.
Thomas going to the line to shoot the foul shots on the Unsporting. And now Thomas comes out of the game. And the team set their lineups. We see Elijah Miller into the game. He'll work that backcourt along with Mason Boursier in the absence of East. Miller played in the second division in Germany over the winter, averaged 13.4 points a game. An outstanding three-point shooter as well. And he'll be looking to show what he can do. He's had some memorable games in this league. Driving Nelson Jr. The floater doesn't fall. Osaboyan had it. Spun the pass to the corner for Miller Moore. It was just out of Ruggsy's reach.
Yeah, a little bit too hot to handle there.
So it's Miller, Boursier, Lindsay, Ambrose Hilton, and Hornsby for the Stingers. Big defensive play. But it looked like it was just mistimed by the Surge player, and it will be an awarded basket on the goaltend. Osaboyan driving, distributes the perimeter. Adeladoon floats on the move. That one with just the right touch.
Osaboyan the vision to find Adeladoon, the floater, and
Osaboyan flagged for the foul on the finish, and he got his left hand up there as he was going down and just caught the Stinger player. Miller to the inside, a nice pass there and a good finish. Two-man action. And Edmonton looking sharp.
Chris ball movement by the Stingers there. They're down their best player. Good possession. Try and regain a little bit of momentum.
Stingers by one. Teams will meet 3 times this season. The final meeting coming up July 6th in the Capitol as Brown strikes.
We haven't said his name a whole lot today, hey Mitch?
Just a matter of time. Teams coming into the game with impressive offensive numbers. The Surge averaging 93.4, the Stingers averaging 91.1. Surge second in the league in that category, the Stingers third. Ambrose Hilton at the line now for the Stingers. 83%, I think that's 62% free throw shooter entering the contest. The Surge off the miss. We'll get back to work at the offensive end. Miller Moore one-on-one with Miller. Backing him up, trying to get up and over. That's good.
That is a far more difficult shot than it probably looks. Just getting over your man, reaching over him, impressive work.
Hornsby fakes, now takes and finishes. Nick Hornsby with a good touch. Hornsby spending some time in Mexico over the last winter. Playing, not vacationing. Inside, Nelson, tough catch with a man all over. Guard for the Stingers, ejected just past the 7-minute mark of this second quarter when he was assessed his second unsporting foul of the game. So the big gun, the top scorer for the Stingers, gone for the night. Jameer Nelson Jr. sees his shot come up short. Distributed by the Stingers very quickly in transition. Hornsby, watched by Boachi, pass to the inside, and Lindsay left unattended, puts it away.
Behind the back, no look. Impressive.
Veteran poised there to set it up. Back the other way. How about going one better, Greg Brown?
I love Greg Brown's celebrations and energy after he hits a big shot. He's just so dialed in and living in the moment.
Brown averaging more than 20 points a game is up to 12 in this one. Lindsay got to the inside, stuck with it, and counts. Ruggsy Miller Moore going to work. Pressures his man, Kevin Bursey, with a fine defensive effort. Slung across the court, Boursier, catch and release. Not this time. Right on the rebound, Kevin Bursey. Experienced player in the Spanish second division. Lindsay from deep. And Adeladoon settles things down for Calgary. Adeladoon driving against Boursier, steps back looking for three. Hits the rim softly, but is taken away by Hornsby. Hornsby gets a little space there. Can't make the most.
Opportunity for others to show Jordan Baker why they deserve floor time for this Stinger squad.
I mentioned the game has been sloppy at times. The Stingers averaging 13.4 turnovers per game. They've already had 9 in this one.
Jameer Nelson Jr. already has 2 steals.
It's been one of his trademarks this year, averaging more than 3 per game. Miller Moore with a bit of a force there, taken away by Edmonton. Stingers on the move. Hornsby to the corner. Driving, floating up and over the defense. This one took a little time, but knew where it wanted to go. Elijah Miller up to 6. Nelson Jr. working his way to the basket with the left hand.
With authority. He was driving no matter what. He was not dishing that ball off.
Lindsay interrupted by Brown with a good defensive effort. Watching on for Brown. Brown sizing up his man as Bursey tries to slow down Brown. Watching working hard for the rebound, and it's out of play. Watching getting his first pro experience in terms of on-court action in this one. They also, the Surge did announce the signing of Jamarco Pickett today. Pickett, a former Detroit Piston, and he's had a chance to get into the game. Pickett playing just over 4.5 minutes. That one shy of its intended destination. Brown will get it back into play from the baseline.
Counted 3 air balls, Mitch, in the past couple of minutes for the Stingers. Just some poor shooting the past stretch here.
You wonder how much of it is getting used to a new venue. I know they're pros and play in a lot of different places, but this is new to both sides, and the lighting is also something they've got to get familiar with. There's a nice play to get it in the hands of Bursey. Bursey slowed by Boachi. And this is going to go back the other way. The Surge taking possession. Tay Donald checking in for Elijah Miller. Donald out of Laurier is an OUA second team All-Star. One of those players benefiting from the CEBL's partnership with U Sports and the college leagues.
Yeah.
Nelson Jr. right down Main Street. That left hand again, but just didn't fall. And the Stingers look to add to their advantage as we close in on a minute to go till halftime. Lindsay driving the baseline. He is met with resistance. There's a real confidence here amongst the Surge that they made contact with the ball and did not commit a foul. But Caleb Canales is going to hold on for maybe a more significant time in the game.
Tough to tell from that angle.
First one doesn't go for Lindsay. Lindsay played in the UK over the winter, 3rd year in the CEBL. Played with Saskatchewan, Winnipeg, and now the Stingers. Nelson to the corner. Pickett gets it up top for Brown. Brown driving. Down goes the defender. And the call will go against the driving Greg Brown. Brown flexing his muscles. There you get a chance to see it. Having a little fun. Brown has averaged 3.9 fouls a game. It's something that is both a blessing and a curse. He is a physical, determined player, but sometimes has to walk that line to stick around.
Yeah, and he's such a valuable player for this squad. He had the winner a few nights ago, and a force inside the paint, and you mentioned it, Mitch. He is aggressive, and he plays that inside game, and as a result, he does get into foul trouble on occasion, but he is a crucial part of this Surge team.
Brown with 2 fouls. He'll take a seat. Donald trying to get to the glass. He's met with 2 players in Surge colors, and there's nowhere to go. They will get the ball back, however. Good support here from the Surge as they get 2 over to take care of Donald. Both Pickett and Boachi there to turn off the lights. Dorsey back into play for Bursey. Lindsay up and over. Bursey's got the rebound. He'll go strong. And it's 2 more for the Stingers. They're up 4 with a half minute to go until the break. Miller Moore looking to get in behind the D, finds a streaking Jameer Nelson Jr. Shot clock is off. Stingers looking for the last shot. Orchestrating things, Nick Hornsby. Donald inside. Bursey up. Bursey finishes at the buzzer. Trying to get to 8 wins with a victory here. And tomorrow night, Vancouver in action against Winnipeg, one of 4 games on the Friday schedule. Back underway in red here. The Surge in black. And the visitors from Edmonton in white with a 50-46 Stingers advantage.
Nice hands by Boursier there first in the tournament. Forced the turnover.
Edmonton working hard to get to the rim here. They will draw a foul. Greg Brown on 3 fouls coming out to start this third quarter. This one goes against Kyrie Thomas. Starting 5 on the floor for Calgary. Nelson Jr., Kyrie Thomas, Miller Moore, Brown, and Osaboyan. And for the Stingers, it's Miller, Ambrose Hilton, Boursier, working hard to catch up to ball carrier Lindsay. And rounding things out, Hornsby. Driving now, Miller Moore up over the defense, and he gets in the ball.
He's made a couple of those shots today, Mitch, and they're just driving the net and the floater.
Let's see, Miller Moore loves to get to the 10. He's got 10 in the game. At the other end, an easy finish for Ambrose Hilton.
Hilton had a block just a second ago, so a productive sequence for him.
Nelson Jr. slings it across the floor. Thomas climbs the ladder to get it. Miller Moore sizing up Boursier. They've gone toe-to-toe many times. His former teammates. Thomas to the glass, and he was whacked on his way, and the foul is called.
Kyrie Thomas providing a lot of value. He hasn't played in a little bit, but certainly showing a presence inside the paint, and now he's at the line.
Thomas gets the first one to fall. Kyrie, 63% from the free throw line to begin the season. Regular starter to open the campaign. Missed the last 3 due to injury. Did have 13 in his last outing before being sidelined. That against the Vancouver Bandits in that big win when the Titans squared off.
And one of seemingly many players on his Surge roster with NBA pedigree. And you can tell that means something to Jason Ribeiro and the ownership, bringing guys in that play at the highest level. In Caleb Canales' case, coached at the highest level, and it really makes the Surge a strong organization.
Building a tradition in Calgary, the trilogy year 3 after the move from Guelph, and there's 3 from Hornsby.
6-point lead now for the Stingers, picking up right where they left off after the first half.
Edmonton shooting the 3 at almost 38% on the year coming in. Nobody better in the league in that department. Osaboyan handing it off. Some room there for Nelson Jr. Lindsay cleans up the glass. Hornsby trying to back up Thomas. Hornsby turning, Thomas staying with him. Thomas, a good defensive player. He just got caught in motion there. And 6 points in the ball game. As he gets back in the swing of things coming off the injury absence. 7 points, Stinger lead. They trailed by as many as 11 in the opening quarter. Osaboyan from up top trying to get downhill. Goes to the perimeter for Nelson Jr. Osaboyan with the screen. Nelson Jr. will take that. Difficult shot at the buzzer, and he beats the clock.
Osaboyan with the huge screen there. It opens up Nelson. A nice looking shot there. Surge with a little bit of momentum here.
Kick ball, and they will reset. Championship weekend, the spot that every team in the league wants to get to. The Winnipeg CEBL know they will be there. Will you be there? It's coming up in the Manitoba capital. Don't miss your opportunity to be part of the biggest event of the summer. Single game and event packs are now on sale. Edmonton ball. They slide out of bounds. Elijah Miller to get it back into play. He finds Lindsay, quickly turns and shoots, and he's got 3. Scotty Lindsay from the corner.
Lindsay continuing his strong night up to nearly 20 points and filling in well for the absence of Sean East and continuing the Stingers' strong perimeter shooting.
Lindsay now with 19 for the Stingers. Osavoyan goes up to find that O board. Brown from the corner, in and out. Osavoyan trying to get there. And the foul is called.
The lead now up to 8 for the Stingers, who've continued to build off of what they did starting in the first quarter there. Their biggest lead prior to this was 4. Certainly a good showing from them early on in the second half.
Team fouls, Calgary with 3, Edmonton with 2 so far in the quarter. Brown tries to get to the glass. Nelson Jr. comes in to fight for it. Extra effort paying off. Gabe Osavoyan with a big 2.
Just keeping his feet moving inside the paint.
Technical foul has been assessed to Greg Brown after the bucket, and that is 4 on Brown with a long time to go in this one.
Yeah, one of their key players, and probably will wind up sitting for a stretch here, Mitch, because they do need him, they do want to use him, but it's tough when you've got 4 fouls. We've got well over a quarter and a half to play still, and again, he's such a crucial part of this team. He got the winner a few days ago, but getting into foul trouble even in the first half.
Kyrie Thomas on 3 for the Surge. He's next in the discipline department as far as the Surge are concerned. 4 on Brown, 3 on Thomas. Nobody with more than 2 on the Edmonton side.
Yeah, the Surge have to do a better job of staying disciplined, keeping their hands at bay, just doing anything they can to just not get into foul trouble, because these are key players for them that are in that territory now.
Miller from the line. He gets the first one to go. Now he'll try to finish off the back half. And he will do that. Successful trip to the stripe for Miller. He's got 9 points in the game. His minutes becoming of added importance in the absence of Sean East. Nelson Jr. trying to work to his right. Comes together with Boursier, and the foul is called. It's going to go against the Surge. It's an offensive foul.
Osavoyan maybe a little bit too aggressive there.
Surge bench just issued a technical foul. And Caleb Canales wants an explanation.
That looked very much shoulder to shoulder. It didn't look blatant.
Lindsay cashes. And Edmonton with the basketball, and the lead up to 10 for the Stingers. Nelson Jr. trying to dig in here against Miller. Miller gets it to Boursier. Boursier for the triple. Deladoon wraps it up. Osavoyan stepping back inside, looking for Nelson Jr. He gets a rough ride. It's tied up. Let's look at the possession arrow. And it will be Edmonton ball.
Just me, Mitch, do you feel like the Stingers are taking this game over possession by possession?
Definitely a strong stretch for the Stingers coming out of the halftime break. They've scored 14, and Calgary has responded with just 8, extending their advantage, which was 4 at the break.
Yeah, now at 10.
Turned over here, though. A good defensive move there by Osaboyan to get in the lane, find the pass and get it on. And Thomas just can't convert.
He's a little disbelief there.
That's a high percentage opportunity for Kyrie Thomas in a sequence that could turn the tide for Calgary. It didn't work out this time. They're hungry to get back to the attack. Another board for Osaboyan. Gabe driving and a big defensive effort at the other end. Ambrose Hilton using that length.
Yeah, he's had a couple of those plays today. Blocks underneath the basket, just using that range, preventing the Surge from getting an opportunity.
Surge into the penalty. Stingers on 2 team fouls. Lindsey Miller Moore to get things started once again. Gets it to Nelson Jr. He has defended well. Pickett in his debut at the Surge for a Deladoon. And Miller takes it back the other direction. Halfway through this third quarter, a collision there. Nelson Jr. is down. And a foul is called against Chris Smith.
That was a hard screen there.
Illegal screen, the call. And Surge will get the ball back. Nelson Jr. monitored by Miller. Nelson Jr. to the corner. Pickett for Osaboyan. Osaboyan between the legs, setting up a Deladoon who fakes the shot, drives, floats it, and it's swatted away, but a Deladoon, the one to grab it again. Up to the glass he goes, and he'll stay with it. A Deladoon. And on top, Edmonton shooting it at 56.1% in the game to this point. Calgary just 36.5. Sean East, the standout for the Edmonton Stingers, coming into the game ejected in the second quarter for a second unsporting foul. But they have found ways to continue without him. And this time a good defensive effort by Edmonton, running the Surge out of shot clock. Game's been a little scrambly at times. Both teams committing 12 turnovers to this point. To the inside, there's Smith with a big finish.
Unimpeded to the basket, throws it down, and the lead now at 12.
Wondered about the crowd here and if there would be a split between supporters of the two teams. Just good energy in the building in general. It's been a great atmosphere for this one.
Yeah, loud, lots of young people, lots of kids. Fantastic.
Miller to the corner. An open look there, finds the rim as Tay Donald looked for the triple. Osaboyan getting inside. Pickett looking to go up with it, and it's knocked out of his hands. Hornsby tried to pass it off, and a Deladoon again with that extra effort. Gets back defensively this time. Gets the Surge heading in the right direction. Osaboyan fakes, he drives. Finger roll didn't fall, and away go the Stingers. Hornsby to the corner. Extra pass, Lindsay with the hot hand, and why not? Calgary River Lions. And the next night, we're right there with the Brampton Honey Badgers. Couldn't secure the win, but we're very close to stretching a win streak to 3 consecutive as Nelson Jr. out of the timeout scores and falls heavily.
And he's favoring that right arm.
In the meantime, Hornsby trying to get it done against Brown, playing on 4 fouls. And he finishes. Surge needs stops. They can't just trade baskets, down by 15.
And Jameer Nelson's still in pain there.
Empty trip for Calgary. Tay Donald distributes to Smith. Smith trying to show some range to his game. That doesn't fall. Possession stays with the Stingers. Donald drives. That looks good. And the left-hand finish is nice.
A thing of beauty from Donald. Just the finger roll there. And the Stingers continue their strong play.
Ooh, down heavily there, Nelson Jr. Also down on the play is Donald. Foul has been called. Jordan Baker making the case that the bump was created by a collision with a Surge player. But it is a foul on Tay Donald. You can get cash back on Stingers ticket purchases at cebl.ca/Neo and using your Neo credit card. Sign up now and get a $25 bonus. Rugsy getting it back into play. Brown handing it back to Miller Moore. 10 seconds to make something happen. Rugsy decides to take it early. Smith's got the board. Hornsby on the move. Borsier's open in the corner. Borsier has it knocked away by Nelson Jr.
Good to see Nelson Jr. still in the game. He went hard there, cut down a couple of minutes ago, favoring that right arm. It's good to see that he hasn't come out and clearly still healthy enough to play.
Tough customer. The Surge will miss him dearly when he leaves to take part in NBA Summer League action just down the road. Long distance effort doesn't fall from Lindsay. Borsier finds it. Tried to get it to Hornsby, quickly to it there. Adela-Dune tried to share it. They're all over the place, and the Surge come away with it. Putting it up, Rugsy! And the Surge find a way to organize that and send a jolt through the crowd, a surge through the crowd here in Red Deer.
Yeah, no pun intended. Hey, they needed that in the worst way. A loud crowd, finally a little bit of momentum.
And to finish the quarter strong, trailing it by 15. Smith guarded by Pickett. Smith trying to get up and over Pickett. Pickett there trying to knock the ball away and is charged with a foul. Interesting to see Jamorko Pickett come in and jump right into game action. 6'9", a little over 200 pounds. Played in the Turkish League this last winter where he averaged 6.5 points a game and spent some time with the Detroit Pistons in the 21-22 season.
Yeah, builds off of what it seems like they're trying to do here, Mitch, create that, pedigree type environment, bringing in guys that have played at the highest level, and he's just the latest example.
(24-24) after a quarter. Got a bit misleading with the Surge leading by 11 at one point in the opening 10 minutes. Teams hit the halftime break, 50-46, and hold on a minute now. Some discussion here. And the officials are going to chat about this. And 2 points are awarded after the conversation. And the Surge trying to make the most of the final seconds here of the third quarter. Rugsy Miller Moore getting to the inside and drawing the foul.
Yeah, he'll go to the line, and if you're the Surge, you need anything you can get to claw away at this lead. And Miller Moore has an opportunity to get two out of this, and it's not about getting everything back in one possession.
They'll have to be patient. They'll have to be persistent. They'll want to be better at the defensive end, which has been a strength for them in this season. Coming into the game, we talked about the fact that the Surge were so stingy defensively, averaging 83.8 against per game, 8.5 fewer than Edmonton.
Yeah, and to their credit, Edmonton's come out to play. They've picked apart the defense. They're shooting really well.
Very efficient at the offensive end, this Stingers team tonight. Fourth in the league in field goal percentage coming into the game, and turning in a good shooting performance in this one as Miller gets set to come in for Donald.
Yeah, speaking of shooting percentage, one of their top guys in perimeter shooting coming back onto the floor now as the Stingers with a 16-point lead looking to add to that.
Sabri Phillip into the game for the Stingers as well. Getting some players some rest late in the quarter. Rugsy Miller Moore the perimeter. Pickett extra pass. He'll get it back. Pickett drives. Looks to get it to the glass. And he is fouled. Foul is on Smith.
That's his fourth, it looks like. So something to keep an eye on there.
Smith, a big body and a important player for the Stingers. He'll sit down now. One foul away from hitting the showers. Pickett at the free throw line. The first one does not go. Next up for these two teams, home game for the Stingers at Expo Center against Winnipeg on Sunday. Surge will play on Sunday as well against Vancouver. Surge looking for their 8th win of the year tonight. Vancouver already with 8. 8-1 for the Bandits, 7-2 for the Surge. The Stingers trying to close in on 500. They're 4-6. Deep into the third quarter here. Collision down on the floor they go. Phillip and Nelson Jr. get tangled up. And the foul will go against Phillip.
Nelson Jr. always in the thick of it. He's always getting his nose dirty, always involved.
Read the play very well there. I think he understood exactly what was happening.
Yeah.
Nelson Jr. gives to Ruggsy Miller-Moore. Greg Brown fakes the three, steps back and takes the three. And Brown gets it to go.
A thing of beauty. The step back, the head fake, beautiful.
12 points separate the teams. Stingers looking to cash in on a final possession here. Hornsby guarded by Pickett. Hornsby fakes. Pickett gets a hand on the basketball, now floated, and he scores.
Home to the Alberta Sports Hall of Fame. Of course, basketball a huge part of the province's sporting history. Calgary inductees include Carl Tillman, also a Canadian Basketball Hall of Famer, two-time Olympian, 1984 NBA draft pick of the Nuggets. Calgary's all-time leading scorers, more than 2,000 points before the three-pointer was around. And of course, Edmonton has Don Horwood, almost 30 years as the head coach of the University of Alberta Golden Bears. 7 Canada West titles, 3 national titles, retired just as Jordan Baker arrived at the CEBL. So gotta wonder if Coach Baker might join him in the hall one day. Mitch?
Well, that's entirely possible. The career this young man is putting together, first as a player and now in a leadership role, and trying to lead his team to victory here. Thank you, Kemi. 77-65 your scores. We settle into the fourth, 24-24 after one. Hit the halftime, 50-46 Stingers. And Edmonton extending its lead by 10 points in that third quarter. Phillip from the middle of the key, doesn't fall. Pickett's got the rebound. He distributes, and off the races Ruggsy Miller-Moore. Watched by Hornsby is putting a terrific game together. Hornsby with 8 rebounds and 5 assists to go along with his 13 points. Greg Brown looking for the triple. Stingers now going to slow it down and set up the half-court offense.
Calgary continuing to struggle from the field, less than 40%, and then early on a couple of misses to start this quarter.
4 of 19 from 3 for Calgary. Not the same story for Edmonton. Quickly ahead here for Miller-Moore. He gets fouled on his way to the window. And Ruggsy Miller-Moore, you may have heard, he disputes the decision. He thought he was in the act of shooting. And we get another look at it here. That looks like he's up in the air, and then he lays it off at the last minute to Greg Brown. And be side of the bounds. Ruggsy getting it back into play.
An incredulous smile. He certainly thought he was going to the line.
Doing his best relationship building, negotiating.
Yeah, exactly. You learned that at U Sports, so.
Miller-Moore gets it back in for Brown. They're joined by Adeladoon, as well as Nelson Jr. and Thomas. Ruggsy floats it up and over and drains it.
He eventually got his 2, Mitch.
We'll see if it's part of a comeback effort for these Surge in the fourth quarter. Miller to his left. Miller 7 dimes in this one. Looks on now as it's stripped away from Ambrose Hilton. Miller-Moore slashed as he went to the glass. Surge back to work again on Sunday as well. They will play at 2 Mountain Time back at Winsport. Surge leading the season series against the Bandits 1-0 after a 15-game victory at the Langley Event Center earlier on in the season. That game highly anticipated. Hornsby going to work against the Deladoon, who digs in defensively. Hornsby trying to find a shot here, turns and misses, and Miller Moore will take the rebound. Brown for three.
Crowd's gotten louder here, Mitch, trying to will the Surge into a comeback here.
Still a 10-point game, lots of time to go. Picked off here, a good work defensively by Deladoon, and now he gets in with the left hand, can't get it to fall, gets up, thought he was fouled, they'll carry on, and that goes off of Kyrie Thomas and will be Stingers' ball. They're let off the hook a little bit there.
For sure, and that's also the Stingers being just aggressive and not relenting in their own end. That looked like an easy 2 points for Kyrie there, and the Stingers, to their credit, they keep their hands moving. They're aggressive underneath their baskets, and it's helped them with this lead.
Foul called on Surge player Jameer Nelson. That's 2 on Jameer. Smith into the game, plenty of size on the floor here with Hornsby and Ambrose Hilton. They're joined by Miller and Boursier, the 5 on the court for the Stingers. Up for the shot, no good, too strong from Miller. The Surge get their wires crossed, and it's going to be Stinger basketball.
Yeah, a little bit of miscommunication in the defensive zone. We've seen it a few times today. It looks like something's just a little bit off, whether it's the field goal percentage, whether it's how they're driving the basket. There's something that looks off with this Surge team compared to a few days ago, rather.
Winners on Sunday, their first ever victory against the Scarborough Shooting Stars. Got it done at home, 94-80. 4th game of the 5-game road trip here, and they run the Stingers out of shot clock, and they'll take the ball back.
Yeah, nice possession there. Good work defensively by the Surge. Again, it's a 10-point deficit with 6.5 to play.
Well within reach. Yeah, well within reach. And Miller Moore aware of that. Brown tries to get the screen in. Boursier fights through. Brown now driving to the corner. Nelson Jr. up against the defending of Miller. He thought he drew a foul. They carry on. Nelson Jr. getting over there. Caleb Canales red hot in front of that Surge bench.
Yeah, very animated there.
Hornsby gets it down low. Ambrose Hilton scores, and he will go to the line.
Yeah, good work inside by the Stingers, and again, a chance to pad that lead and halt a little bit of momentum here.
Tough sequence there. The Surge felt that they had earned a foul at the other end. They don't get it. They come away empty-handed. Down comes the Stingers, and they're able to cash and go to the line.
I think sometimes, Mitch, when you feel like you deserve a call there, you're not as quick getting up the floor, right? And the Stingers had numbers there. And
that's something you got to work through. Remember the responsibilities out there as a pro. Ambrose Hilton trying to finish it off, and he does. That is a big sequence for the Stingers. Now up by 13. Kyrie Thomas playing for the first time after a 3-game injury absence.
Looked like Boursier reached in there.
Foul is called on Boursier. His first. Edmonton, 3 team fouls here in the 4th. Calgary 2. Pass back a little wayward to Deladoon. Tidies up. Deladoon to Brown. Brown driving. Brown aggressive in the lane, and he is called on the violation. It's a travel.
I think that's a byproduct of good interior defense by the Stingers. They're forcing the travel, not making any easy shots available for the Surge.
Well, we've heard Jordan Baker talk about it in recent games with his team, that he wants them to be a little tougher to play against defensively. Coming into the game, they had conceded 92 points and change on average this year. Thought they could clean it up, holding the Surge to 70 with 5:37 left on the 4th quarter clock. Hornsby to the inside. Ambrose Hilton up and over. Ambrose Hilton.
That's a big one. That's a big one. It halts it halts a little bit for a run that the Surge had, and he's going to the line.
Now Ambrose Hilton with a powerhouse effort, and he goes to the free throw line. Chance to extend the lead to 16. They're led by as many as 17, the Stingers. One away from that now.
It was down to 10 a couple minutes ago, Mitch. Credit to the Stingers. They kept their foot on the gas. Here we go.
Critical time in the ball game for the Surge and their hopes of winning. Brown staying with it. He dumps 2. Defensive effort here, vital for Calgary. Become a trademark for them. They needed to help them find a way back here. Ambrose Hilton uses that length, and what a touch that is.
5 points in 3 seconds. A nice sequence for him. He has a couple of blocks to a really good game for Ambrose Hilton.
Nelson Jr. draws a couple of defenders. Adela doing all kinds of time. Shoots the 3 and makes the 3. Edmonton trying to win for the 3rd time in 4 games, trying to get to 5 and 6 to lead them into a 4-game homestand. Here comes Smith. He is denied.
He was having a good start. 11 points in 10 minutes before the 2 unsportsmanlike fouls got thrown out.
Now we got a foul here. This one is going to go against Greg Brown, and his night is done.
It's a big loss for the Surge. He is a threat inside. He shoots the ball so well. If you're looking at him out of comeback, he is a really tough subtraction.
Yeah, 20.3 points a game. He's your top scorer coming in, and he will not continue in this one as he receives foul number 5. There's a look at it. You see him just shifting to the side and making contact with the Edmonton player, Miller.
Should they mount a comeback, Mitch, they're going to need a new hero. Greg Brown scored the winner back on Sunday.
Rugsy Miller-Moore has 3 target score winners of the 7 for the Surge this year. Smith can't get it to fall. Poked away. Nelson Jr.'s got it. He was run into in the battle for possession. That foul will go against the Stingers. 4:06 on the clock.
It's nearly that time.
Foul is on Elijah Miller. He's got 2. Each team on 4 fouls. Deep into Q4. Nelson Jr., the hero in the win over Edmonton in week 1. He can't make it there.
Time CBL champ, 2-time MVP, 3-time player of the year. Xavier Moon is here. Playing in Russia this season. How did you end up in Red Deer for this?
And I'm always trying to support the Stingers any way I can. So this was the first game while I'm here, so I'm just trying to show my support.
What do you think of the neutral site game so far?
I love it. It's a great idea, especially the 2 Alberta teams playing right in the middle, bring out the fans from both sides, so I really love that.
I mean, there are the championships, the opportunities you got from the CEBL, but what memories really stick from you from your time with the Stingers?
Just the bond I built with my teammates, lifetime bond of brothers that I made here, man, and obviously the championships, the love for the fans, the love for the city. That's why I'm always welcome to come back.
And you got a big band here. I'll let the 2 of you take this home. Come in here, Gunner.
What?
We got to say, let's go Stingers.
1, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Let's go Stingers!
That's the word from Xavier Moon. Mitch, back to you.
Boy, if you're going to have somebody rooting for you, might as well be a man of the stature of Xavier Moon. Thank you, Cammie. Thank you, Xavier. 3-time MVP, 2-time Finals MVP, parts of 3 seasons in the NBA with the Clippers. Great to hear from him. On the sidelines, we work our way through target time. The Surge try to mount a comeback. That's a good way to start. Put back in by Elijah Miller. He gets it to Ambrose Hilton, who's been a difference maker. Miller to the corner. Hornsby having a big night. Looks for more. That's lovely.
Fearless into the inside.
Hornsby up to 17. Lead is 10. The target is 97. Nelson Jr. Osaboyan, Adela Dune on the rebound. Thomas, you bet.
Kyrie asserts himself inside the paint.
Boursier Hands to Hornsby. Ambrose Hilton gets in. The difficulty for Nelson Jr., but just a tip of the cap to the Surge crew for all the time and effort that went into pulling this off.
Yeah, and it'll have impact for a long, long time. The kids that watch this game will certainly remember.
Miller Moore to the corner for the newcomer. There's three from Pickett. Five from the target for the visitors from Edmonton.
All of a sudden, just a 7-point lead now for Edmonton, too.
Good defensive effort from Thomas, just about broke away. Still 8 seconds to make it happen for the Stingers. Boursier from long distance against his former team. No good. Rugsy Miller Moore driving. Miller Moore slashes the left hand. The spin doesn't work, and they can't maintain control. Hornsby going to work. He made a move to get free there. Terrific pass. And to the inside it goes. It's going to be an offensive foul, however.
Surge doing a nice job these past couple of minutes, just hanging in there with each possession and getting a couple key defensive stops. And this has become a game again, Mitch.
Something about target time.
Yeah, it ups the ante for sure.
Changes people's mindsets and creates excitement. Jameer Nelson Jr. banged up. He's got cotton in his nose, and he's looking for three from long range. Boursier snags the rebound. Miller inside. Ambrose Hilton hands it off. Lindsay can shoot the long one. He didn't make this one. Fighting for the rebound. Ambrose Hilton can't secure it. They say that it went off. Jameer Nelson Jr. Much to his surprise.
Much to mine, too. It certainly looked like it would be Surge ball.
Surge had a... Nelson Jr., Miller Moore, Thomas, Pickett, and Adela Dune for Calgary. Fighting for the rebound. Pickett gets it to Miller Moore. Rugsy sizing things up. Watched by Ambrose Hilton. Ambrose Hilton with that length can make it tough. Miller Moore gets up. Foul is called. Rugsy Miller Moore imposing himself on the defender.
And he's imposing himself on the game as it's continued. Yeah, a little bit of a quiet first half, but he's continued to drive on the inside. He gets to the line again. And the Surge have done a good job chipping away at this lead. It's now down to 7. It could be single digit, within a 5.
Miller Moore missing the front end. Rugsy's got 18 points in this game. He had 18 in the win against Scarborough on Sunday. Every point critical, and especially now in target time. Miller Moore will get that one to fall. Miller, Hornsby, Lindsay, Ambrose Hilton, and Smith for the Stingers. And they try to play through the contact. They earn the foul.
Yeah, Stingers a chance to halt some of the Surge's recent play over here. And again, like you said, target time brings out maybe a little extra aggression in players.
Lindsay gets the first to fall. Give him 28. Closing in on a 30-piece for Scotty Lindsay.
Absolute monster of a night for him.
Tremendous night. Second one doesn't fall. Scrap for the rebound. Smith was there. And now the Surge managed to get it back. Adela Dune has been fierce defensively in this one. He played a big part in that. Now Adela Dune looking to get a shot away. Good perimeter shooter. And he dials long distance.
As they try to close it out, really keep an eye out for that.
Hornsby with the ball in his hands here. Bumps into Adela Dune. Finds Ambrose Hilton. Taking possession, Lindsay. Guarded by Pickett. Gets a step on Pickett. Can't put it away. Surge want the ball. And they get it. Ahead for Adela Dune. Here comes Rugsy. Rugsy Miller Moore. And it's a 2-point ball game. How could it be any different between these two teams?
Another classic, another classic. This is fantastic.
Inside they go. Tough handle for Smith. He finds a little space. Good battle from Miller-Moore, but he'll score.
Yeah, Smith, second effort, doesn't give up on the ball there.
Two from the finish line now for the Stingers. Not much margin for error for Calgary. Nelson Jr. from the elbow. That is good. Both teams in the penalty. 2 points from victory for the Stingers. Nelson trying to find a way to slow up Miller. Miller turns, puts it up, and the rebound is taken. This crowd is a Calgary crowd. You can hear it in the Centurion.
Clearly, and the Surge have continued to claw their way back. They're within striking distance now.
Nelson Jr. with a slick move, calls his own number, and scores. Well, we got a timeout in Red Deer. It was sporting foul. Here it is, game on the line. Tied at 95, the target 97. Fans on their feet. Inside, Lindsay trying to find some space. Lindsay puts it up, he misses. It's out of bounds. It's Calgary basketball. The Surge with a chance now. Remember, both teams in the penalty. Calgary trailed 88-75 to start target time. Demir Nelson Jr. taking a deep breath. He's tossed the tissue or the cotton away from that nose that was injured earlier. Nelson Jr. turning. He gives it to Thomas. Thomas for the win. No. Rebound. It's up. No good. Edmonton's got it. Stingers with a chance to win. Fortier falls. Thomas takes it. Back to the attack from the Surge. Nelson for the win. He's blocked by Ambrose Hilton. A wild finish. And now an open chance. Smith. No. He'll go to the line. All the way back. He wants to see them finish the job. Smith. They're 1 point away. Chris Smith for the win to even the season series. Oh, rebound taken by Miller-Moore. He's tied up by Hornsby. Looking to get it into play. He does. Lindsay driving. Lindsay floats. Can't score. Thomas has the board. Surge 2 from victory. Thomas driving the lane. Thomas floats. Doesn't score. Can't get the rebound. Here goes Lindsay. Looking to put it away. Nelson comes over. Lindsay, Ambrose Hilton. He fumbles it. It's out of play. Which way is it going to go? It's Calgary ball.
The twists and turns continue. My God. Just when you
they
think
turn off the clock, and anything is possible in the CEBL.
It really is. Phenomenal theater.
Into the hands of Nelson Jr. Target score winner in the first meeting of the season between the teams. He gives to Rugsy, who drives. Rugsy puts it up, can't score. Tie it up, Rugsy's got it. And the possession arrow favors Calgary. Extra effort from Miller-Moore, critical there.
Yeah, almost that junkyard dog type mentality. Just heart and soul leader, and the chance again for the Surge to come away with the unlikely win.
Extra effort in abundance at the Centurion tonight. These teams laying it on the line, the Battle of Alberta. Pickett, a newcomer, playing his first game for the Surge. Pickett up and over for the win. No, rebound, no, back on it. Who's got it? It's Smith. And Edmonton will slow it down. Fortier trying to get the handle, Will. Hornsby. Guarded closely there by Thomas. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Make it 6. Hornsby trying to get a shot away. Turned it over. Nelson Jr. lost it. He had it and couldn't handle it. Now it's off of Lindsay on a play. You can't write this stuff.
You really can't. It's phenomenal defense. Very aggressive by the Surge. And they'll have another opportunity to come away with the win.
CEBL legend is Xavier Moon in the building tonight, and you know he'd want to be out there.
Yeah.
Surge down 13, starting target score time. For the win, Nelson Jr. No, rebound taken by Edmonton. Mason Fortier handing it off. Smith with a finish.